So you
That
own
guy's a
Tesla.
winner.
You own a Tesla.
Absolutely.
You know, you see someone like Elon Musk. I mean, the hell do you make of someone like that?
How's one guy able to do so much?
And because he's one of our great geniuses, and we have to protect our genius.
This guy's landing rockets. You know, he's landing rockets on you know, robot drone rafts in the ocean.
I think what Elon's done with Tesla is fantastic.
I think Elon's absolutely fixated on going to Mars, and that is almost, I think, is his life mission. And
you know, you can respect Elon Musk for his genius, but you have to really respect it because he puts every cent that he has on the line.
Much to the horror of the left, Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter means they will have to check their privilege of controlling the narrative. It's a win for free speech, and we all know what the progressive media thinks of that concept.
The enjoyment they get out of being in this town square is being able to harass people, being able to attack people. Elon Musk, I guess he misses the old South Africa in the 80s. He wants that back.
Broader question for Twitter, which is, if you get invited to something where there are no rules, where there is total freedom for everybody, do you actually want to go to that party?
It's kind of funny. Elon Musk wants to buy it, but there are massive life and globe altering consequences for just letting people run wild on the thing.
Elon Musk is a danger to Twitter and to freedom of speech. He has been known to say some of the most transphobic and homophobic things to his millions of followers.
Surprise, the millions!
Your favorite restaurant, is under new ownership, and it went from vegan to barbecue. This is what's happening. It's no longer preferred treatment for the left, right? Yeah. You don't get the best table by the window anymore. Yeah. Everybody is now the same.
Yep.
But you say he's just a friend, and you say he's just a friend.
Well, hello kitties. This is your friendly neighborhood watchman here again with another video. The subject of which is Elon Musk finally purchasing Twitter. And as you would expect, the hypocrites on the left lose what little they have between their ears. And there's a meltdown and a lot of pseudo melodrama. So I'll let Tucker Carlson talk about it a bit, react to what he says, and wrap it all up with a pretty masculine bow. Let's get to it.
And welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. The Babylon Bee is one of the last English language satire sites left on the internet. And no, we're not counting the Daily Beast or the Atlantic Magazine, neither of which makes people laugh on purpose.
No.
The Babylon Bee, by contrast, is intentionally amusing, and it succeeds, mostly because it is sharp and it's honest. This March, the site published a piece with the headline, "The Babylon Bee's Man of the Year is Rachel Levine." The article is funny because it pointed out that Rachel Levine is himself pretty funny.
He is
DNA, like a woman,
a male,
makeup and purple glasses, wearing some kind of admiral's uniform, pretending to be the Assistant Secretary of Health, when he looks like a candidate for an imminent heart attack himself.
You can't believe this. 10 years ago, this would be in our government.
You'd laugh if you saw him at a party. But the
I
Bible
cringe.
can't allow you to laugh at Rachel Levine, or at Karine Jean-Pierre, or Kamala Harris, or any of the other transparently absurd figures that are pretending are running our country. Or for that matter, at Biden himself, who somehow they tell you got, quote, 81 million votes, despite being senile and rarely going outside.
I got a bridge and the keys to sell you, if you believe that.
When you think about it, but you can't laugh. And you can't laugh because humor is the most subversive thing. Once you start noticing the pure, hilarious ridiculousness of the people in charge, you may be much less likely to obey them. So it's absolutely vital that somebody wipe that smirk off your face by force if necessary. So Twitter immediately banned the Babylon Bee from its site for the crime of making fun of Rachel Levine. So you've heard that story, you've heard other stories like it, but here's what's interesting about this one. Elon Musk, wherever he was at the time, noticed this happening, and he was appalled. He wasn't appalled because he's an ideological conservative. Musk is the richest man in the world, and he didn't get that way by being a political activist. He's a business guy.
Don't get that twisted.
To the extent Musk has politics, they seem to be traditional civil liberties-oriented liberal. But banning a comedy site for mocking someone in power? That seemed totalitarian to Elon Musk. So Musk called the head of the Babylon
And he's no
Bee,
Jeff
Seth Dillon, and
Bezos.
told him that he, quote,
Thank
might
God.
need to buy Twitter. And he wasn't kidding. Yesterday, after months of legal drama, Musk did that. The bird is free.
Free the bird, baby.
Then he fired several of the company's top executives, including its CEO, Parag Agarwal. Within hours, he pledged to let people laugh online if they wanted, to let people who've been excluded from our public conversation speak, lifting the bans on the banned commentators on Twitter. Musk promised to make Twitter's algorithm transparent. Apparently, the algorithm has effectively existed to censor conservatives on the basis of their political views.
Oh, hell yeah.
So now, in one day, people who could not speak will be allowed to speak. The playing field will be transparent, which is a prerequisite for fairness. And
Not
if you
according
want
to the
laugh
left.
on social media, you can. It seems like a big day. This seems like good news. And if your job was to defend freedom of the press, and it is the job of journalists to defend freedom of the press because they rely
We
on
don't
it,
have journalists anymore.
you think you'd be pretty excited about this. Oh, but they're not excited.
course
Instead,
not.
journalists are panicked by this
Of course
development.
they are.
Watch.
I think he's a jerk. I think that he's cavalier. I think there's something dangerous when the richest guy in the world controls one of the most important
Oh,
political,
like Jeff Bezos with the Washington Post?
I think just
You
as a guy
hypocrite,
running
lying
business,
sack.
I think he's a dangerous fellow.
I think you're a moron.
It's scary when rich people own media companies, says Donnie Deutsch, who inherited a media company from his own rich father.
Hypocrite!
But he doesn't mean it. There's no principle here. No one at MSNBC means it.
Of course not.
How do you know that? Because they're not complaining about, say, MSNBC's corporate owners, its billionaire owners at Comcast. They're not upset about the fact that Jeff Bezos, probably the second richest man in the world, owns the hometown newspaper
I nailed it.
of the government, the Washington Post. The Washington Post reporters are also panicked that free speech might be back on Twitter. Taylor Lorenz,
Oh
one of the
my
most
God.
famous and thoroughly ridiculous reporters, had a particularly rough night. Quote, "It's like the gates of hell opened on the site tonight," she wrote. No, the gates of hell open when we run out of diesel fuel and the airlines don't work and people freeze to death. The gates of hell don't open when people get to say what they want on social media. Sorry, get some perspective, honey. But none of them have perspective. It is sad, responded Frank Shaw, who works at the head of communications at Microsoft. Lorenz was upset because she makes her living by defaming people and then harassing them personally. But until last
Not a
night,
surprise.
Twitter protected her and many journalists like her from any criticism whatsoever. See how this works? So when you're a journalist, you can destroy people's lives in this country on behalf of a political party. You can totally crush them, get them fired from their jobs, attack them to the point they literally lose custody of their children, which is happening now, by the way. You can do whatever you want if you're a journalist, but if anyone criticizes you, they have to be shut down because their criticism is violent.
Yep.
In this case, Twitter objected to the phrase "learn to code." Now, that's a phrase specifically used to mock journalists because that's what journalists told coal miners to do when they lost their jobs. Learn to code. That's the point.
Toward the end of our administration, Joe's going to determine what the jobs of the future are. Anybody who could go down 300 to 3,000 feet in the mine, sure and hell can learn how to program as well.
When you eliminate free speech, who do you help? The people in charge. Only the powerful benefit from censorship.
Yep.
So the propagandists had protection from Twitter. That's the point. And they've lost it. And blogs like The Verge are very upset. The Verge has published a profanity-laced screed that included this amazing line, quote, "Most people do not want to participate in horrible, unmoderated internet spaces. Also, everyone crying about free speech conveniently ignores that the biggest threat to free speech in America is the effing government." Okay, well, that's true, but it's also a lie by omission. Because, in fact, Twitter was acting on behalf of the government.
Oh,
That's
yes.
the point. We know that thanks to lawsuits filed by Alex Berenson and others. We know for a fact that Twitter censored political views. And that's what the media are defending right now. So obviously they don't understand the concept of freedom of speech or why it's important or why Elon Musk bought Twitter. Joe Cirincione, a, quote, NatSec expert, member on the thoroughly discredited Council on Foreign Relations, wrote this last night, for example. Quote, "I now approach every tweet as if it could be my last." Ooh, the self-prominent.
Good gosh. Clutch your pearls, Joe.
Democratic Party lawyer Mark Elias was hysterical as well. Quote, I am here until he kicks me off. The thing is, Mark Elias isn't going to be kicked off Twitter. And only people who are benefiting from it support it. The whole point of the transaction is to make certain that everyone can talk. That's why Elon Musk did this. The point is to stop censoring all people, period. As the popular account Comfortably Smug put it, quote, we're celebrating because we're free to say what we want. That's what they took from us, and that's why they're terrified now.
Exactly.
So the people who've always been able to say whatever they want are upset, not because their right to speech is under threat, because you now have the right to speech.
Yep.
Because now it's more of a fair fight. Restoring free speech is the main reason that Elon Musk fired Parag Agrawal. Now, that woman and her boss and a lot of other people at Twitter, the enemies of free expression, the enemies of freedom itself, they're all gone. Woohoo! Talking their lunchboxes. This is a huge deal. It's hard to overstate how transformative this could be. The activist left believed it owned Twitter and the public conversation in this country more broadly. Why do they think that? Because for many years they have owned it. They have a monopoly, and that monopoly has been broken. Once everyone can talk, rich or powerful, poor or powerless, doesn't matter. When everyone can talk, nothing will ever be the same. And the Democratic Party will be forced to defend its positions on their merits.
Sweet. I love it. The left going crazy because they thought Elon was on their side at one time. They thought they had another Jeff Bezos because that's how most people in big tech are. Leftist Democrat supporters. Just like when once upon a time Donald Trump was loved, at least outwardly, by those on the left and Democrats, especially people like Hillary and the Clintons that love taking his money that he will donate to Democrat politicians. And once he showed he was not goose-stepping to their leftist socialist agendas, as with Elon, they turn on you. So Elon, he's not a friend. Oh no. Oh my. So folks, with that being said, if you agree, launch your thumb toward that like button. And if you disagree, pummel that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, just to spite me. And hit that notification bell so that you'll be duly alerted whenever I drop another video. I appreciate it. So until next time, take care. And as always, I bid you peace. Hey baby, you got what I need. And you say he's just a friend. And you say he's just a friend. Oh baby.
Cut! 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 Why does everything happen to me?
Yup.